Tonight, live on BBC News, a special event covering the mini reshuffle scheduled to happen here at number 10 Downing Street. Throughout this evening, multiple ministers will be walking through that black door behind me to discover their future within Doc Hender's cabinet. Among the expected changes, we believe there's going to be a new chief whip alongside a potential new replacement in the Equalities Office. Stick with us here on BBC News. Good evening and welcome to this BBC News special. I am your presenter for tonight, the very respectable Just Lemon Plays, MBE. And throughout the next hour, we're going to be taking you through some major political changes in our government. Earlier this evening, it was announced by Downing Street that an official mini-cabinet reshuffle was expected to take place. At this time, we do not have any official idea on what is expected to happen, but rumours are suggesting that there is going to be a new chief whip of the party at minimum. I am joined by our Home Affairs editor, my very good friend, the very respectable Henry, who is going to speak to us about his thoughts on the cabinet reshuffle. So, good evening to you, Henry.
Hello, Lemon. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, this evening. And hang on, we've got something going on behind me. I can see behind us there the Prime Minister giving us a little wave. We can't really see him over, so...
And Alkion.
And we can see the Foreign Secretary among the people in there. We are just going to switch over to our very famous little drone camera, which we probably...
And there's the Justice Secretary.
So, within a matter of moments, we have seen 4 cabinet ministers, am I correct in saying, walk into Downing Street. We've had the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, the Justice Secretary, and was there a 4th that I saw in there? We definitely can also see over at the gates.
That is the Cabinet Secretary.
The Cabinet Secretary is present at Downing Street, and up in the distance we can see, I believe, that is the Home Secretary. My good friend Trent, who is likely to be receiving a new job. And ignore whatever this is, because this is not the Deputy Prime Minister. That is just our rubbish administration team forgetting to update titles. So he is not the Deputy Prime Minister. So I believe he might be by the end of this, but highly unlikely. So at the moment as it stands, no cabinet ministers have walked in, but to be appointed, we believe, than... However, we can see there is Trent walking in. No wave, no standing by the door. But we believe we can see very clearly there that Trent is the first minister of the night to walk in to Downing Street. Now, we know he was head of the Government Equalities Office until yesterday because of a rather funny incident. Oh, have you spotted someone else walking in?
And that is the permanent secretary to the Treasury.
We can see the permanent...
walking over to us. Oh, and there's the king.
It's all going on here in Project Britannia. I nearly said Westbridge. Oh,
the king's lost.
Well, I think it could be sheer embarrassment after photos of his bum was revealed live on national television earlier this evening. So it could be the feeling of humiliation. The Home
will be Attorney General.
Have we just received that through? We'll check the BBC sources, and that is true. We can see the Home Secretary walking around, and he has just gone inside to Downing Street. So very quickly, first big appointment of the night, and I've just had it confirmed through Downing Street official sources that have been sent to me that the Right Honourable Tren has accepted a new position inside
Guys
of,
walking off.
and he has just left the building.
Someone else is taking a seat inside Downing Street.
Yeah, we can
Wonder who
see.
it might be.
We believe it could be the Home Secretary, who has not
Could be
been the most.
Defence or Justice.
We see Justice. The Justice Secretary has just walked out of number 10, and he is walking all the way out through the rear entrance, headed towards the Horse Guards area. And there is the Cabinet Secretary. Oh, that poor grass that had been mowed so impressively, just to be run over by the tyres of a German car. Oh, we apologise for that. That is our drone having a little bit of craziness. Unfortunately, the AAA batteries only last a couple of seconds each time, so we have to send someone up from the roof to replace them. But the first cabinet appointment of the night that has been received to me has been confirmed by Downing Street, that Tren has become the new Attorney General. He will remain as the Minister without portfolio. Now, Tren, obviously, he was the Minister for... No, he was the Minister for Equalities. And Women, of course. He did that role very well, a lot of people described. Unfortunately, due to international interest, though, the role had to be removed from him. But he has this new job, replacing the former Attorney General, Charles Sutherland, who has lost his seat via inactivity rules, which is not a good look for him. We can still see the Cabinet Secretaries having a nice time, when really he should be in there doing the appointments on behalf.
Someone else is there. Who is that?
That is Oscar O'Sullivan.
Who is that? And he's waving at us.
He is
Hello.
waving it. Now, Oscar O'Sullivan, that is interesting. Could he be an intruder who's broken into the very, very poor Downing Street security? Or is he actually going in for a ministerial role? Now, from my latest knowledge, he isn't serving as an active political candidate in any party. And he just went bye-bye, so he was an intruder after all. We was not prepared for another David Cameron surprise. So far inside of Downing Street, we believe the following individuals are inside. We know the Home Secretary is still inside, the Prime Minister is inside, the Foreign Secretary is inside, who is also the First Secretary of State. And we think the Defence Secretary is still inside of Downing Street. So we are currently waiting for further news on appointments.
Oh, the Shadow Chancellor is at the gate of Downing Street.
Oh, the Shadow.
Trying to break in.
So as things stand, we do know we are expecting the appointment of a new Chief Whip. Now, whether this is going to go to a new minister or a minister who already holds significant responsibilities in the cabinet, those who could receive that role could be the likes of the current Foreign Secretary or even the Justice Secretary. But they could also be very senior backbencher MPs who receive it. And there we can see the Cabinet Secretary having a nice time. And we can get an exclusive Larry the Cat shot live on BBC while we wait for updates. So far, only one cabinet appointment, and I should reiterate, this is only a mini cabinet reshuffle, so it's not expected that we're going to get massive amounts of change. This could be the only ministerial change of the night, but we expect there's at least going to be one more change following the former Chief Whip losing his seat. We apologise for that lag there, but apparently someone else has started walking up. Oh, this person,
Who is that?
that is a civilian.
Silly is his user.
And he has been walked in
Oh,
by
no,
the
he's
cabinet secretary. So, could he be in for a potential appointment?
I,
Bear in mind that the Britain First
I,
Party does have vacant seats now, following several of their former MPs
yeah.
losing their seats because of inactivity.
I have to go now, Lemon, but I'm
Yeah,
sure you're gonna have a bunch of fun here.
I
So
believe we
goodbye.
are. So,
Have
thank
a
you
good
very
one.
much to our Home Affairs editor. And the Sovereign, His Majesty, is walking there. And we can also see the Lord Admiral, the Secretary of State for Defence. Your Majesty, do you have anything to say about your bum bum being leaked on national television? No? Is the shame still there? As we can see, the former Deputy Prime Minister Pala walking through, and the Secretary of State for Defence is still there. Oh, and the British citizen. I'm going to absolutely butcher this live on television. The King has just admitted that his bum bum is made from Photoshop. Live on the BBC, everyone. Well, we will get exclusive footage that we got from BBC Parliament up on your screen as soon as possible. So with regards to people still being inside of Downing Street, we believe that that everyone who was inside is still there. So that is the Prime Minister, the First Secretary of State, and the Foreign Secretary, which is Alcalum. We also know that the Home Secretary at the moment, Toxic Spiders, is in there. And we believe that that is it. And, hang on, we are just getting something in our ear. We have got a big appointment of the night coming in. So I'm going to read this out very, very carefully. So Toxic Spiders, the Home Secretary, no longer the Home Secretary. He has now become and I'm going to say this very carefully, he has become the Secretary of State for Constitutional Affairs. So that is a new department that is being created by the Prime Minister. From official Downing Street sources have now confirmed that that has occurred. So that breaking news just in, Toxic Spiders has become the Secretary of State for Constitutional Affairs. Also in our report, we have been informed that he has not retained the position of Home Secretary on any important means, nor do we believe that this department is going to replace the Home Department. This is according to our Downing Street source, and his appointment will be officially confirmed once the department is made. But that is a very big appointment, and one that has surprised a lot of us, I would say, tonight, because we certainly did not expect any new department to be created. But now that leaves the question for us, what is going to happen with that vacant post, the Home Secretary role? So far we still have a chief whip spot available, and we also have a vacancy in the Home Office, we believe. So some rather important appointments happening. We can definitely see some crowds are building up outside. We are still trying to tell whether any of these guys are potential cabinet ministers in waiting or not. We believe, though, none of these are here, and they are just the proud British public spectating. So we did see earlier on that the new Secretary of State for Constitutional Affairs, Toxic Spiders, did peek his head out of that Downing Street window briefly. We believe he hasn't left the building yet via the rear exit. So, there he is. Speaking of him, Here he is. So his title is still obviously the Secretary of State for the Home Department, but that will of course change in due course. So the big question is now, I'm going to see if we can get this out of him. What's the plan for the Home Office? Do you have a plan for the Home Office, Home Secretary? Well, former Home Secretary now. As he admires Larry the Cat, and he has walked back in to number 10. So he is remaining inside of number 10 Downing Street for now. So we do have some questions still hanging over us. Are we A, going to see a new resident in this building? And are we going to see any new resident in this building over here? Which, for those who may not be as fully aware of politics, that means a new Chancellor of the Exchequer and a Deputy Prime Minister. And in a car we can see a rather interesting face. The Lord Privy Seal has arrived in a organised security car being driven by the Cabinet Secretary, so bless him, he walks into Downing Street very, very fancily. We wonder what he could be here for, because potential positions could include the Home Department. It could also become the Chief Whip, but we believe that is highly unlikely, in fact merely impossible, without a further Lord Chief Whip change. So we've just had a appointment in. Speaking about the Home Secretary, we have just had an appointment through. This is going to become a very big appointment, and this is a new MP for Britain First. And I'm going to ensure that this is made absolutely crystal clearly correct. So Hamalis Franchise has become the Secretary of State for the Home Department. So he has replaced toxic spiders at the Home Department. So as things currently stand, we have got a new Home Secretary now. So another pretty big appointment occurring. So one question that is still certainly on our minds is a very amazing looking lady walks inside the street, probably illegally, but you never know in Roblox. As things currently stand, we are waiting on a new Chief Whip. And I have just actually received a very interesting report about the new Home Secretary. The new Home Secretary is in fact the Prime Minister of the current UK in EUN, which is, for those who are not familiar, the United Nations that Project Britannia is currently seeking to apply to following our exclusion. So as we are waiting, oh my word, we have just checked our views and we are absolutely rocketing. So a little bit unprofessional here, but thank you so much for all the support, everyone. I didn't expect to be seeing around and at least an average of 15 viewers, not for this sort of stuff. So this is a very interesting cabinet reshuffle. From what we know is we're expecting a new Chief Whip of the Britain First Party. But we will wait for that appointment news to come in directly from number 10 Downing Street. We do know at the moment that the Lord Privy Seal is inside of number 10 Downing Street, we believe, unless he managed to sneak out while he wasn't looking. And very interestingly, right on cue as we're talking about one leader of a house, the other leader of the other house appears. The leader of the House of Commons has just arrived into Downing Street with a very nice looking hairdo, and he walks straight in with confidence. Could he be heading in for a new cabinet role? It would definitely support the dyslexics in life, as he has so often said during the House of Commons sessions. So we are in talks because we believe we might be about to get a potential new appointed minister on the line. We are just going to check some things out, and then we will see if this is possible. So bear with us while we wait, but we'll keep an eye out on the situation for further developments, as the very lovely looking cabinet secretary is still outside of number 10, walks back inside to handle many appointments. I'm sure he cannot wait for a very good night of sleep. So a quick highlight then of all of the appointments so far, which I will list out now for those who have just joined us or have not been here the entire duration of the stream. So, the Right Honourable Tren has been appointed as Attorney General. He will remain as Minister without portfolio. Toxic Spiders has accepted the position of Secretary of State for Constitutional Affairs. This will take full effect once the new department is created, as this is a brand new custom position within UK politics. And then the latest appointment is Hamalas Franchise has accepted the position of Home Secretary, replacing Toxic Spiders and becoming a Britain First MP. Convenient for interesting reasons as well. He is currently the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom that is in EUN, which we are applying to get into the UN once again, following our tragic exclusion from OUN. So we believe we are about to get a lovely interview with the new Secretary of State for Constitutional Affairs. Hang on, we are not going to go to that. We are going to go to a statement, we believe. Yes, we are. We have a statement from the Leader of the Opposition, which we will just simply read out as this occurs. This is an official response to the British public, we believe, following the resignation of the Shadow Foreign Secretary. And this is what Callum Truss has written to the British public. I want to begin by thanking the former Shadow Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs Secretary. Well, as he embarks on a new journey, he provided much scrutiny at a time when the opposition ability to conduct its duty came under question. His services will not go forgotten. I also want to pay tribute to Adam Ratty. Despite the unneeded hate he received, he has always been a committed public servant, and no one should downplay his sense of duty and his sense of dedication, especially to Project Britannia. He served as leader of the opposition at a time of severe inactivity and decline. He has served in many positions, and his resignation comes as a surprise, and I will personally miss him within Parliament. Yeah, this statement is not up to my reading level and dyslexia friendly fonts, but that is a bit of news in, because I don't believe we were made aware about about him resigning from any position within the Conservative Party, and we are keeping an eye out on the the actual cabinet appointments, but we have not received any new word from Downing Street yet. The leader of the opposition just goes on to say he congratulates the new speaker, Wadja Badger, and that he and we do actually have some breaking news to bring to you now, which is unrelated to this cabinet reshuffle. And we did have a rumour about an hour ago of this taking place, as a member has walked into Downing Street. Callum Truss has resigned as leader of the Conservative Party. So within the last few moments in that statement, Callum Truss has resigned as leader of the Conservative Party. He has gone on to say that he has spoken with the party chairman and has requested that a swift leadership election takes place for a new leader to deliver their manifesto pledges. So thinking that potential leadership candidates include the highly likely prospect of the current deputy leader of the opposition, who is being very highly praised by not just his parliamentary party but the opposition benches. Other candidates can include the shadow chancellor, but I already know we will find out more about that over the coming hours. So we are going to go over to we can just see the Secretary of State for Defence has walked out of Downing Street. We are guessing for the final time this evening, and he is heading off to the ministerial car. We have just had some words from Downing Street about a situation of an appointment. We have received a message to read out from Downing Street. It says that the current leader of the House of Lords will not be moving or leaving the position, but has been tasked to fill 3 Lords in waiting and find a deputy leader of the House of Lords for the earliest convenience. So, as we're saying that, we can finally go, with all that drama in the last few minutes, we can head over to Toxic Spiders. So, hello Toxic, are you there at all?
Oh, yes, I am.
Hello.
Yes, I am.
Firstly, congratulations on your new appointment. Oh, the Lord Privy Seal has just left the building.
Thank you very much.
And I apologise for keeping you waiting for your interview, but obviously we know news flows very fast. So firstly, can you tell us what is your new cabinet position going to contain? What's the responsibilities going to be? Has the Prime Minister told you about it?
I mean, at the moment, it's a very new department. It's only just been announced, and therefore the responsibilities that I will carry will be most likely given to me very soon, and I will continue the active work that I was doing as the Home Secretary, which included reviewing immigration and also reviewing the MI5 general situation. However, I have a different task to uphold in my new role, and I hope to work for the British people that voted for us.
We've just received a new appointment, so we are going to the current leader of the House of Commons, which is Forstavis. I don't know how to pronounce it. I butchered it. I'm sorry to the leader of the House of Commons. If you'd like to sue me for that, please contact the BBC legal team, which is a number that does not exist. Thank you very much. But he has been appointed as a Minister of State for Courts and Legal Services, and he will remain as leader of the House of Commons and Lord President of the Council. And by that, we mean the Privy Council. So that is a very big thing, and that is a little PM from the Cabinet Secretary telling me that the leader of the House of Lords has not been reformed in any way, shape or form. But we'll go back over to you now, Toxic, if you're still on our line. We believe he is. That Toxic Spiders is still on our news line.
Yes, I am.
Good.
So
Since you're the first cabinet member we've spoken to, what are your thoughts on Callum Truss's resignation as leader of the opposition?
I personally feel like I could kind of see it happening. Callum is very busy. Of course, he attends college and he attends sixth form in real life and does A levels. So therefore, I assumed he would have some kind of time constraint, which would prevent him from completely carrying out his role and would force him to unfortunately make a decision to resign eventually or pass on his role to someone else. I am unfortunately going to have to take a very quick call, so I'll have to be right back.
We appreciate you coming on to BBC News. Thank you very much and enjoy your new position, Secretary of State. So that is the...
Thank you very much.
That is the Secretary of State for Constitutional Affairs. That's going to be something for us to get used to. I'm sure we will find out over the next couple of days what that's going to entail. And live with me now for an interview is the Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Joseph.
Hello.
I'm going to call you. How are you today?
Okay. I'm well. How are you?
That is good to hear. We are doing very well here, as I think I just saw a gingerbread man through your window. So, you've been managing a lot of these appointments and helping the Prime Minister to ensure that all of these ministerial appointments are appropriate to take and there is no naughty actions, let's say, that might cause issues for the government. Are you confident that this has been achieved to the highest standard for tonight's cabinet reshuffle?
Well, my job is to assist the Prime Minister and the government on the civil service aspect of things. So I'm just here to assist the Prime Minister and the new appointments, the outgoing appointments in any way I possibly can, whether that be helping them either set up for their new positions or help them transition the responsibilities of their current office to the next holder, depending on the circumstance. So I'm really just here as that extra helping hand for the Prime Minister this evening.
Lovely, thank you very much for that. And do you think because as the Cabinet Secretary, how do you think the civil service has been progressing in recent weeks in the last week since your appointment, I should say? Because I don't think it's not been that long yet since you got appointed as the Cabinet Secretary.
Well, yeah, this is, if I'm sure you're aware, this is my second stint now as Cabinet Secretary. And the government, in particular the Prime Minister and his Cabinet Office team have been really helpful in not just enabling me, but enabling the entire civil service to progress and get to the level where we want it to be. Because I'm sure you're aware, the civil service went through a period where there was about 2 or 3 members who were quite literally managing everything. But now we do have permanent secretary and senior civil servants in every ministerial department. So we are definitely taking those steps we want to be taking.
And if I may get your thoughts on this, we've had today 4 different MPs from each of the 3 different parties. So each party at least had 1 MP who lost their seat through inactivity today. Do you have any concerns regarding that for the political party's sake regarding activity in the House of Commons?
It's not really my place to comment on the state of the parties. However, I'm sure that the respective leaders are doing everything they believe is appropriate to manage their parties in the way they want their parties to be managed.
And finally, final question for the day is, obviously we know your views are restricted regarding this matter, so we will not push too far into this, but do you have any brief thoughts regarding the lead of the opposition resigning, and if you are, and how your personal feelings about the character who has left that post today?
Well, Sir Callum's been a dedicated politician for as long as I can remember. So he is truly a beacon of Project Britannia's political sphere, and I do feel, even though he might not have the best public image, I do feel that he will be missed once he is gone.
Well, thank you very much to the Cabinet Secretaries. We can see the Homes, well, not the Home Secretary, the Constitutional Affairs Secretary walking into Downing Street again. But thank you very much, Mr. Cabinet Secretary.
No
Enjoy
problem.
your evening. Thank
Not
you for
about
coming on
to
BBC
follow
News.
him right back in there, and
Yeah,
no problem. Thank you for having me.
enjoy your evening. So we are still waiting on. We do know that cabinet appointments are still ongoing. We do believe that they are going to realistically hit the conclusion within the next couple of minutes. So we don't expect it to be too much longer. But on the line now, I am very pleased to introduce to everyone the Leader of the House of Commons and the newly appointed Minister of State for the Courts and Legal Services. So congratulations. Can you hear me, Mr. Leader of the House of Commons? Are we able to speak, Leader of the Commons?
Hello, pal.
Hello, welcome. I must say that your haircut is looking stunning as always tonight.
I know.
So,
I've shined my head for this one.
oh yeah, the head polisher. So, anyway, your thoughts regarding the new position that you have received?
The courts, well, they're a bit dead. So, what I'm going to do, make them so active, so great. I will work with the Lord Chief Justice and whoever else necessary to get the best judges we possibly can for this group.
And your thoughts regarding the new Secretary of State for Constitutional Affairs?
Pretty cool guy. I'm not sure what his department will do, but I'll find out
Yeah.
and I'll give you an update eventually.
Do you reckon it's a promotion or a demotion?
I'd say it's a promotion, extra jobs,
Yeah, right. We are just going to.
or more stuff
We
to put on
will.
your CV.
We will just go back for 2 seconds. We have just received a statement from the Conservative Party chairman regarding a leadership election. Callum has informed me that, and the party board, that he is resigning. As he made clear in his statement earlier, because of this, we shall now run a leadership election. The eligible requirements to become party leader are as follows. Must be a House of Commons MP for the Conservative and Unionist Party, and they must receive 3 nominations from other MPs. And so far we can see that there has been 2 nominations. This is very interesting. We've had 2 nominations within a matter of seconds for the deputy leader of the Conservative Party, Maxi. One of them being from Sir Ellis Goodwin, the Chancellor, the Shadow Chancellor of the Exchequer, which gives us a strong indication that he will not be partaking in this leadership election. And we've had a bulletin from the Lord's Chamberlain office as we wait for one of the final cabinet appointments of the night, and I will read this out to you because I think this is of very interesting national interest for tonight.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, no worries. Just that we've had a lot of news coming in, and I would read the statement. We apologise as well for those flashing blue lights. Blame the cabinet secretary, not me, because sadly we're not in control.
Can I ask Paul Stimms a question?
If you would like to, we will carry on.
Hello, Paul Stimms.
We've received word
Hello.
from.
Can you bring me, please?
So we have received the following word from Buckingham Palace. This is actually convenient regarding regarding the former Prime Minister Sir Organised Owen, who is a national partner of KFC and who has done incredible work on weight gaining. He has been awarded with a life peerage and will be known as the Baron of Sunderland. So that is some very interesting news just coming in from Buckingham Palace as we await the final cabinet appointment of the evening. So we are just waiting for that final appointment to be sent to us from Downing Street. We believe that this appointment is going to be a new chief whip of the Britain First Party. As for those who aren't aware, the previous chief whip lost his seat through inactivity. So now it is a very patient waiting game.
Legos.
So we are waiting, but I'm just going to ask really quickly, you, Leader of the House of Commons, apologies for the inactivity briefly, but
Yes.
what have your thoughts in general been on this cabinet reshuffle tonight? Is there any purpose, do you think, behind this, or...?
Great purposes. Now, here's my opinion. Me and the Secretary of State for Justice, we're brilliant co-workers. We're going to fix everything wrong with the legal services, the courts, the justice, you name it. I think me being here was full of purpose.
The Prime Minister's actually just
Thank you.
published a statement while doing cabinet reshuffles on the resignation of Callum Truss, and I shall read it out to you all the second I can just get it. Apologies, we are logged on the wrong Twitter account, so we are currently slightly behind on actually getting the tweet, but here we go. Prime Minister, here we go. Apologies, it's not the Prime Minister. It turns out that I was right the first time. I will try and read it out as best as I can, but we are obviously... Twitter is being a bit slow. This is from the Lord Queer, who says, Callum Truss is a, quote, idiot, a, quote, fool, and a failed politician. However, he is consistent with one thing, his ability to resign after what can only be described as a short tenure. Au revoir. And that comes from the Lord Queer, who is the new appointed Attorney General. We are still awaiting, of course, on any further appointments, but we are expecting within minutes to get that news from Downing Street, because we believe, as far as we know, a minister is inside of Downing Street at this present time. So I know we actually have from earlier on our Home Affairs editor, Henry, has returned, everyone. Pleased to see him, is what I say.
I think he's on mute.
Hello, can you bring me, please? I'm a bit stuck outside the gate.
So, as we say that, we can just have a nice view over Downing Street. And we are now waiting on one of the final appointments of the evening. There has been rumours of a potential appointment into the Chief Whip. So I'm going to ask our Home Affairs editor, Henry, who do you think might get this Chief Whip job, if it is indeed going to be a Chief Whip appointed tonight?
Look, my best bets are on that backbench over there, the member of Parliament for Leicestershire. I think it's well.
Oh, here we
it's
go.
not
We've
always your backbench.
We have received the official sealed paper from Downing Street reporting to us that the cabinet reshuffles has been concluded with the final appointment. Transmix Development has been appointed as the new government chief whip. So he is now, thank you for whoever said that alert. I will look at logs after and may run my pixel car over your pixel Roblox avatar before the end of today. But
That's nice.
that is very positive to end this evening. But that is it for the cabinet reshuffle. So we will go over each and every cabinet reshuffle that has occurred briefly. So Trenqueer has been appointed as the Attorney General. Toxic Spiders has been appointed as the new Secretary of State for Constitutional Affairs, which is a new department. Some of our viewers who have just joined us. Hamlis Franchise has been appointed as the new Home Secretary, who is also becoming a Britain First MP, and who also is the Prime Minister of a UK within EUN, which is the United Nations group that Project Britannia is currently trying to apply into. The leader of the House of Lords has been given the task to fill in 3 Lords in waiting and to find a deputy leader of the House of Lords. We expect that this might be done within a matter of days. The leader of the House of Commons, who I think is still with me, has also had a new job appointed as the Minister of State for Courts and Legal Services. And
So
obviously,
true.
Well,
So true.
well done, Bustiness.
and our final appointment of the night was obviously Transmix Development as the government chief whip. So a fairly interesting night of politics within our great nation. But with all of those cabinet reshuffle appointments being done, the big question is, how are these appointments going to go? So we are now going to end this special programme of BBC News, but we would like to thank you all very much for watching. Do stay with us here on BBC News, as we have got many more programmes over the next couple of days, including this weekend the introduction of BBC Evening Live, hosted by me, Just Lemon Plays. But for now, thank you very much for watching this BBC News special. Have a good evening. Take care.